Hey friends, happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us for Unscripted on 13 Plus. I'm Anna Orsini.
And I'm Carson Courier. Thank you for joining us. We do really quickly want to toss on over to a press conference that's happening in Iowa with the governor there following all of the severe weather and the more than a dozen tornadoes. I believe 23 tornadoes actually went through that state. 5 deaths, 30-some people are injured here. And as you can see,
Just devastating.
A lot of destruction.
Yeah, so we're waiting to hear from the governor, kind of an update on the damage there. So they're right now just waiting for her to walk up after touring some of the damage, and you can see the reporter just kind of panning around, and you can't even tell whether this was a neighborhood, whether there were businesses there, just because the extent of the damage, of course, in a very small town. They said about 2,000 people live there in Greenfield, Iowa. So a huge impact to the community there. So it looks like we're about to hear from the governor, just kind of get an update on some of that damage. So we'll let you go ahead and listen in.
Surveying the damage, kind of talk about what you see, how did it impact you personally?
Yeah, so we initially did a flyover so we could kind of get the scope and magnitude of what the impact was, but once you get on the ground, it's really overwhelming when you just see every home around you completely destroyed or sometimes completely gone, and talking to the few people that we talked to and hearing their stories of survival, and just by the grace of God, they were able to survive the storm passing over their home. But I think talking to the governor from her trip here yesterday, it's amazing how this community has already come together to start to clean up.
Yeah, I could not believe the amount of debris that had already been removed, and just how this is such coordinated effort by so many volunteers and just communities coming together to make it happen. I just kept saying, oh my gosh, you couldn't even see the homes yesterday. So still pretty devastating, and just really, really appreciate the administrator being on the ground and seeing firsthand what's taken place in Iowa. I think they said that today in the briefing that the tornado was moving a mile a minute. So, I mean, that's just incredible to think about the devastation that was done in a minute through this community.
Is there anything right now? I know a lot of people want to help, and I know that maybe too many at sometimes. How can people help rather than maybe actually coming to Greenfield to help with cleanup?
Well, I know there's foundations that they can, send resources to. We appreciate the volunteers. It's necessary, especially for the removal. We've seen high school students step up and really walk the farmland to pick up the debris. But if you go through the incident command and through the emergency manager, Cooper, he can help really coordinate a lot of that. So we still do need the volunteers, but we have to really manage it as well too. But there's a lot of different ways that people can help, and we'll try to keep that available and on the website so people know where to go and how they can be helpful.
Thanks. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Just do 2 more quick ones. WHO.
I didn't realize that.
Okay, so again, just kind of getting an update there on the ground today in Iowa. Not a lot of new information provided. Again, that death toll stands at 5 people who have died from those tornadoes that took place on Tuesday night, and 35 people injured. So not new information learned today, unfortunately. The one thing that the governor did say is that community that you saw behind you in that video, it only took a minute for that tornado to go through there, and that's the amount of damage that we saw in just a minute.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's hard to wrap your brain around. FEMA was there as well, talking a lot about how the people who actually survived or got out of their homes, it was kind of an insane story, meaning a lot of people just didn't even know what was coming, and then really quickly had to act fast and take shelter and figure out where they were going, grabbing their pets. I know on our website we actually have a story from a family that was there that talked about how they didn't have time to grab their pet, but their pet went into their crate and wasn't hurt.
Oh my goodness, that's heartbreaking. But it was a very dynamic situation when you have 23 tornadoes and you're trying to warn people about all those impacting so many different just like communities and areas. I mean,
and
it's
rural
just,
areas too, where a lot of people don't have television or they just aren't actively watching to see if anything's happening.
Because if you're not on your TV, like watching your TV, or if you don't have your phone near you, if you're asleep, if you're like us who go to bed at 5, 6 o'clock at night, there's no way to warn you. So definitely a situation we're keeping an eye on today, especially to heading into the weekend, because we know that more severe weather is expected in other parts of the country.
Absolutely. We do want to move on along here. So this happened early this morning, absolutely devastating in Mexico. So we know at least 9 people are dead after this. You can see there was a strong gust of wind here. This was at a campaign rally, and then that stage there actually collapses. Just terrifying video here. So we're told this was during an event attended by presidential long shot candidate Jorge Alvarez Manez. Civil defense teams say they actually had checked the structure of the set prior to this event, but that the severity of the wind gusts had caught organizers by surprise, as you can tell.
So afterwards, soldiers, police, and other officials roamed the area. They found people laying on the ground begging for help. The state's governor did confirm that more than 60 people were hurt. Some of them are stable, others undergoing surgery. We also learned that a child was among those who were killed. An investigation is ongoing into the incident. It's expected to take place. So, of course, we'll continue to monitor this for you throughout the day, but a very tragic and just unexpected thing happening in Mexico overnight.
And turning now to a national story, we know that the Senate is set to vote on a major border bill that we've been talking about for quite some time.
Now, we do know technical difficulties with the iPads here. That vote is expected to take place today. Now, Democrats are expected to kind of stall this bill, so it will get a second vote in the House. But this is something, of course, with the passing of HCR 2060 here in Arizona yesterday, something that's been a big topic of conversation. So, of course, we'll keep you updated on that once we do learn more today, once that vote takes place. We're going to go ahead and take a live look outside now at those conditions heading into your Thursday and your Memorial Day weekend. Looks gorgeous outside, of course, on the lower end of the 90s, and then we are warming back up. Something to keep in mind, of course, heading into the weekend and all of your Memorial Day plans is that fire danger is a very real thing. We've talked about some of the fires that we've seen across the state recently. Thankfully, not seeing any here at home. So we do want to bring in 13 First Alert forecaster Allie Potter on the cooler side. So we're enjoying these cooler conditions right now.
Yep.
It's going to change, though.
It is later next week. But it's nice, though, because, I mean, it's so fitting, though, Memorial Day weekend, and you have really nice temperatures.
Yeah.
Below average.
We love to see
What
it.
more can you ask for?
I know.
Exactly.
But, of course, everyone's going to be out and about and maybe is lucky enough to have a 3-day weekend. So sometimes you just kind of let loose, and you're like, oh, it's fine. There are some, things that you need to be mindful of when you're grilling outside. Those tow chains, make sure they're not dragging. Don't park in high grass. Just be smart this weekend.
Yeah.
Have fun, but be smart.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's the theme of your weekend.
Yeah, there you go. Right now, though, temp-wise, not too bad. 79 if you're in Tucson, 74 for Sierra Vista, 76 in Nogales. Hanging out in the 70s. In fact, really nice conditions is what we're seeing. Radar is definitely dry. That trough to the north is why we're seeing these below normal temperatures. And then a ridge of high pressure is once again back in the forecast, and it is going to bring us those triple digits, folks. So get ready. Here it comes. By the way, we have a fire weather watch going into effect, though, Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. It's going to continue all day long through 9 o'clock at night. Now, this is really for the Cochise County area. So we're talking Wilcox, Douglas, a little bit near Sierra Vista, and the red that you notice, that's to our friends in New Mexico. They have a red flag warning in effect. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if our fire weather watch does turn into a red flag warning, though, this weekend, because we are expecting some gusty winds. Here in town, not too bad at all. That fire weather watch does not affect the Tucson area, by the way. On Thursday, 18 miles per hour for today, 21 on your Friday, 18 though on Saturday, single digits by Sunday, and eventually into our Monday. Those gusty winds, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Safford, 40 miles per hour for you on Saturday, 30 for Wilcox, 34 for Benson, 31 if you're in Sierra Vista, 37 for our friends in Bisbee, 25 though for us in the Tucson area. Again, this is on Saturday where that fire weather watch will definitely be in effect. Those temperatures, though, dropping, in fact, really nice. 91 on Saturday, 94 by Sunday. Jumping up to 98 degrees, though, on your Monday. Triple digits. Back in the forecast, Tuesday and Wednesday, we're seeing 101 by Tuesday, 101 though for our Wednesday, and this is in the Tucson area. If we do hit this, by the way, it's going to be the first time that we see triple digits this year, in fact. And Mother Nature's going, all right, fine, I'll give you 2. we're a little later on in the year, but we missed the mark last weekend. Thank goodness we were only at 99 degrees. We're still in the 90s today, and 94 for Tucson, 86 if you're in Nogales and Sierra Vista, 89 though for our friends in Douglas. Your Memorial Day weekend, breezy conditions on Saturday, 90 degrees, 93 on Sunday, 97 though on your Monday. Really nice. So get this, Snow Bowl is open this weekend.
That is insane. Isn't that the first time ever?
Yeah, so it's the first time that's been extended this long. Yeah,
Wow.
so yesterday, in fact, they announced it, and I think everyone went a little wild.
Yeah.
Aaron Christensen and I were going, wait, what? Hold on, what? What is
Yeah.
this?
Crazy.
And you kind of have to double check to make sure, and you go, okay, all right. Now, they are dealing with strong gusts up to 60 miles per hour, though, on Saturday.
Wow.
So do keep that in mind if you are headed up the slopes, though. And Flagstaff, so Snow Bowl has made this rule that if the gusts are over 45 miles per hour, that could cause, obviously, danger, you know, because
Yeah.
the wind speeds are really strong. So the lifts could close, though. They do
Okay.
want people to know that. So do plan for that. Saturday, 44 degrees up on Snow Bowl. But those wind speeds, sustained winds, 35 miles per hour, gusts up to 60. So definitely can cause some dangerous conditions up there. Sunday, though, those wind speeds really do taper off, 9 miles per hour, gusts up to 20. Monday's a perfect day.
Yeah, beautiful
Honestly, though,
conditions.
Memorial Day, perfect day.
It really is. So do keep that in mind, though, if you are going to go to the slopes. Your 13 first alert 7-day forecast includes the 90s. Triple digits, though, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay. Well, like you mentioned at the beginning of your forecast, at least we're seeing some good temps for Memorial
Yeah,
Day.
really nice.
Because typically we're used to Memorial Day being a
It's so
scorcher.
hot. And, you know, the traditional Memorial Day weekend is barbecues and being out in the pool because it's like the unofficial start to summer type of thing, you know? And you just want to get out and enjoy. And come on, 91?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes,
And-
please.
And then not so much on Tuesday and Wednesday, but that's fine.
I know, but you're working, so it's fine. You'll
Right.
be
Exactly.
inside.
Oh, there you go.
You
Look
know,
at Allie
just-
Potter being so positive. We
I'm
love
also
to
going to
see
be
it.
out of town.
Except
so much
for,
to you.
except for everyone who's like, well, I work outside. I work a construction job, but thanks,
That
Allie.
is true.
Thinking of you
Yes.
guys, hydrate.
Yes.
But yeah, it's that time of the year, so kind
It
of what we
is.
expected, and it's been delayed long enough.
Yeah, I think we got it.
Yeah,
We do.
Perfect. Thank you,
Awesome.
Allie.
Thank you, Allie. Well, happening now, city leaders are actually in the midst of clearing out the 100-acre park. We know that's a huge homeless encampment area. Just weeks ago, our very own Jack Cooper kind of went out there the first day that they started giving notices to people who were living out there. And this morning on 13 News, we saw live police officers there, city officials starting to actually clear that out.
Yes, they're doing that to kind of test for forever chemicals and things in the environment out there. But some people had already moved out on their own, others hadn't. So we just want to go ahead and kind of check in with Jack, see where things stand this morning, because obviously a lot of people on both sides of this, there's the, environmental impacts and needing to clear that area out, but also people saying, what about the homeless individuals who live there?
Where are they gonna go?
Right, what are the resources available to them? So we have an update from him, so let's go ahead and listen in.
Carson and Anna, good morning. Leaders with the city of Tucson got out here at about 6:30 this morning, and then they started clearing out what's called Zone 1 of the 100-acre wood park. It's a huge area, but Zone 1 is one of just many zones, and it's right over there. You can see just on the other side of some of that police tape. The police got out here really early and taped off this area to let people know the parts that are going to be cleared out, so Davis-Monthan can do that testing. There were, at last check, about 6 or 7 people still living actually within Zone 1, but as crews have slowly been making their way towards us, clearing out and picking up all the trash and debris that's been left over, people have slowly been walking out as well. So there's still a couple of people that are living in that area of the park, but they're slowly coming out. I'm told this is expected to be an all-day thing. Crews are going to be out here for a while, clearing out everything. And then moving forward, Davis-Monthan is going to have to do testing. It's required testing by the federal government, PFAS testing, and so that's what's going to be happening next. And then even further down the line, crews with the city of Tucson want to actually renovate this part of the park. They actually want to renovate the entire park. It is a bike park. It's really, you can't, I've been here all morning. I've been here a couple times over the last couple of weeks. You can't use it. There's just so many people that are living here, so much trash, so much debris, so much stuff that's just all over this park. So crews really want to move everyone out of here. They want to renovate it. That's all expected to happen by the end of this year. Reporting live at the 100-acre wood park, I'm Jack Cooper, 13 News.
And turning now to a story that I think a lot of folks here at home are going to be very excited about. So if you have not filled up your car just yet, wait until 4 to 7 p.m. this evening, because Circle K is actually giving you a chance to fill up your tank at a lower cost. A lot of folks traveling for Memorial Day weekend, so this is really the perfect time. Circle K is offering up to 40 cents off per gallon between 4 and 7 p.m. at its gas stations, including in Tucson.
So you can fuel up and receive the deal directly at the pump. It's all for a good cause, too. On top of that, Circle K will donate 10% of profits from fuel sales during the event to Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation. So to see which local Circle K locations are offering the deal, you can find this story up on our website, KOLD.com. But again, if you haven't filled up for gas yet and you're heading out this weekend, a good opportunity to do so, save some money, but you might want to get out there a little bit early. I have a feeling it's going to be very busy.
I bet we're going to have one of our photographers out there kind of taping the lines and seeing all the cars,
absolutely.
So just be ready.
Bring a book. Yeah, bring something to do while you're waiting. Well, one of the things that, of course, we've talked a lot about, too, is the Pima Animal Care Center pack, once again being at overcapacity, and with not enough room, some dogs do end up on the euthanasia list. According to the shelter, every dog on that list has 5 days to be adopted or fostered by 3 p.m. on the deadline day. This is something that we've talked a lot about, and that was actually the case for this handsome boy there. That's Zeus. He's a 4-year-old blue pitty mix, or a little pibble mix, as we call them. He was facing euthanasia, but thankfully somebody came in and rescued him last minute. But she said that she tried contacting PAC. She'd reached out over phone, email, and social media, but didn't have any success initially. So even though Zeus was ultimately rescued, this is a situation that PAC volunteers say they are trying to prevent.
I know, kind of scary, especially if somebody wants one of these dogs and then they end up putting the dog down.
Well, I've seen that happen so many times in the comments where people are like, I will take this dog, what do I need to do? And so, yeah, PAC kind of speaking out about that and telling people what the best options are to take.
Yeah, so they say if you aren't able to rescue a dog from the deadline list, adopting or fostering helps the shelter with space. Even if you're adopting or fostering another dog, then they have more space for more dogs to come in. So definitely something to keep in mind. They do have those time restraints, but of course, if you do reach out, I bet they would make accommodations.
Yeah, I think they try to do everything that they can just to get these dogs placed, even if it's temporarily. And of course, there are a lot of different things that people can do to kind of help prevent this problem from happening in the first place. So one of the things that we do talk about a lot is spaying and neutering your dogs. That can make a big impact because, of course, they're spayed and neutered. We don't have more puppies. We don't have more litters. We don't have more dogs ending up on the street. So PAC is doing this upcoming week their Big Fix event, which is where they offer free spay and neuter over a 4-day period to dogs that are over 40 pounds or if you have a puppy. So, for example, when Carson had Zona, she would have been eligible because she would grow up to be more than 40 pounds. So if you go to their website, there's actually a list of all the different locations that they'll be holding this and what days. So some of them you do need an appointment and by invite only, but other days you can show up and first come, first serve, large breed dogs. So if you head to their website, you can see all the different locations. And this is just a really good opportunity. I know that anytime you get any vet service, it can be expensive, obviously. So this is something you can do for free and kind of help prevent that problem from worsening.
Exactly. So again, this is happening June 4th through the 8th. So there's 4 days in June, but just keep it in mind. If you have a puppy, if you have even an older dog that you're like, hey, I think it's time to get the dog spayed or neutered. Hey.
Yeah, there's 35 to 40 spots per day, so they will fill up. You can head to Friends of PAC for more information, but yeah, let's help keep the pets safe in our community. I know. Well, speaking of pets, I love this. I saw this yesterday and I was like, get out of here. So obviously Stanley Cup playoffs going on right now, so the NHL and Petco Love announced that they are going to be doing a Stanley Pup competition for rescue dogs.
It's like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's like the Puppy Bowl. Same kind of thing. So I don't know what skills they'll be demonstrating and if they'll actually be on ice. But
I was going to say, Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be a huge thing. So all 32 NHL teams will be represented by a four-legged friend, and these dogs are all going to be up for adoption. But on top of that, 16 pups that represent the teams that qualified for the Stanley Cup playoffs will face off in friendly competition. So, like, what's cuter than watching dogs like fight for a little stuffed toy? So cute. But it's also going to have guest appearances. Miranda Lambert's going to be part of it.
Too funny.
Play-by-play, the whole thing.
So when is this?
So this is taking place on June 8th, I believe. Let me see.
Saturday, June 8th.
June 8th, yeah.
6:30 p.m.
Yes. So, wait, Friday. Okay, so U.S. Friday, June 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so 5 o'clock our time.
Okay.
And then you can watch if you're in Canada. If you happen to be joining us from Canada, you can watch on June 8th at 6:30 p.m. And so, yeah, it includes a lot of different organizations that are kind of sponsoring. Petco Love is the major one, and I checked this morning. We'll go ahead and check now. See if
they have some of the dogs.
They don't have them up yet. I always love seeing these. So
We'll
but
keep watching
you can get
this.
notified when the pups drop. So you can enter your email and subscribe if you're very curious. But yeah, just a cool. I love seeing them do this because it promotes adoptions and rescue organizations and highlights some of the puppies that need. And like, what is cuter than that? I would rather watch that than the Stanley Cup playoffs any day of the week.
I know.
Just the
I'm
puppies
right
running
there
around.
with you.
So cute. So yeah,
sweet.
something to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we'll watch out for.
We'll let you know when the roster drops. Yeah.
We'll pick our favorites, our fan favorites.
We will.
Awesome.
Well, taking a live look outside one last time. Gorgeous conditions out there before we warm up heading into next week. But for this week, we're looking at 90 degrees. Going to be a beautiful weekend for you. So get out and enjoy it. Let us know your plans in the comments if you're doing anything exciting this weekend. I know I'll be working, so that's exciting. But yeah, somebody's got to do it. So I'll be here this weekend if you want to tune in to 13 News.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought you were going to say 13 News this morning. I'm like, Anna, that's not it.
I just stopped because I don't know what we call our weekend shows because I've never done them before.
I used to be the anchor, and I don't even know. 13 News this week. Weekend. We should look into that.
We'll get back to that.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Tune in tomorrow for Unscripted on 13 Plus. It will just be myself because Anna gets a day off because she is working this weekend. So definitely be safe out there, friends, and tune on in tomorrow. Thanks for watching.